All right, then. So let's switch gears now and let's talk about something of great importance. So we're expanding the scope for rail mass transit in infrastructure in Lagos. And joining me right now on the phone line, I have Kolawole Ojelabi, consultant corporate communications for the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA. Mr. Ojelabi, nice to have you. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, Victor, and Happy New Year to Lagos.
All right, so I hear there's a great wind sweeping through rail mass transit in Lagos, and the latest development is that there's some things that are happening. Talk to me. Yesterday you had an August visitor. Talk to me. Who was that?
Well, the name of the gentleman is Solomon Quino. He's from African Development Bank.
Okay, so your line is not very clear. Okay, go ahead.
Is the Vice President, Private Sector Infrastructure and Industrialization at AFDB. So I heard of the visit of a technical team to assess the purple line, which they want to invest in. So he was in Lagos to have a feel of blue line. And so we took him on a ride from Marina to Mile 2 and back yesterday.
Right. Okay, so we've heard of Blue Line, we've heard of Red Line, and not too long ago, Mr. Governor was in China to sign the Memorandum of Understanding for the construction of the Green Line. So which one is the Purple Line? Talk to me.
Okay, the Purple Line is the one that is coming from Redemption Camp in Ogun State and is going to join the Blue Line at Volkswagen here in Lagos, very close to Lasu. It's a 60-kilometer rail line, and it's one that will go through the very heart of Agege, Yanapaja, Alimosho, all the way to Volkswagen.
Wow.
So it's a 60-kilometer railroad, and that also is going to have a lot of impact for people living in around those areas that I mentioned, for them to commute from one part of Lagos to the other. For instance, someone living in Redemption Camp area, Mowe, Ibafo, and the rest of them, they can join the train all the way to Volkswagen, and if they want to go to Central Lagos, they can also connect there. And the journey is going to really take a shorter time.
Wow. I'm just trying to imagine the areas that rail corridor will transverse. It's likely going to be the longest of the 6 rail lines, if I'm not mistaken.
No. The Green Line actually is the longest. The Green Line is 68 kilometers, whilst the Purple Line is 60 kilometers.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'm looking at how it's going to transverse through Agege, considering the fact that we already have a rail line, a rail corridor that passes through that location. So is it going to be an overpass rail, or how's it going to be looking like?
Well, the project, a greater part of the project will be elevated, because we'll be constructing in a brown zone,
okay,
where you have a lot of development. So we have to reduce the impact on the buildings, properties, and the rest of it. So a lot of it will be elevated so that it will reduce the impact of demolition, acquisition of property, and the rest of that.
Right. This sounds like cheering news for Lagosians if the Purple Line will be able to come on stream. But when are we likely going to be having or perhaps launching the groundbreaking of this Purple Line?
Well, I informed just earlier that the technical team is on their way. So as soon as that is done and they've done their assessment, and they'll be able to tell us pointedly when construction could start. So I think at that time we're going to inform all Lagosians, all Nigerians, the world that this is happening in Lagos under the watch of Mr. Governor, Mr. Abagide Bishola Sanwo-Olu.
Right. And I see things are moving so fast for rail mass transit in Lagos these days. Speak to the significance of all of this, Kola Ojelabi. How significant will the Blue Line be to Lagosians by the time it gets on board?
Okay. Okay, Victor, let me put it this way. We have a strategic transport master plan where we detail 6 rail lines and 1 monorail. And of course, we have implemented the blue line. The blue line is a 27-kilometer railroad from Marina to Kokomaiko. We have done the first 13 kilometers. And so currently, if you go along that corridor, we are continuing the construction of the second phase from Mile 2 to Kokomaiko. Okay? And that is 27 kilometers. We also have the red line, which first half, the first phase we have completed, and it's already currently in operation, doing 8 trips every day. 4 trips, each way. Then, we'll talk about the green line, which we say is 60 kilometers from Marina all the way to Lekki Free Zone. Then we'll talk about the purple line, which is from the Junction Camp to Volkswagen. Then the yellow line was the one that will come from Ota all the way to National Theatre. That one is 34 kilometers.
Oh.
Then we have the orange line. Yes, we have the orange line, which is coming from
Ikorodu.
Agbawa, all the way to Ikeja.
Wow.
That is also a 48 kilometer railroad. Then we have what's called the monorail, which is a circle line. It's a 16.4 kilometers that will orbit Marina, Victoria Island, Ikoyi, and up to Lekki Phase 1.
Right.
So when you look at what all of these things that we're doing, the rail is not standing alone. We also have other infrastructure that we are constructing. For instance, at Marina and Mile 2, we are doing 2 interchange hubs. And so the whole essence is for us to warehouse all the modes of transportation in one spot, that you now have options as to which one to use. If you use train, for instance, all the way to from Marina to Mile 2, and you want to go, into Festac, for instance. So at the interchange, you get a bus that will take you to Festac.
Right.
Within 3 to 5 minutes of your arrival, at Mile 2 interchange. So the whole essence of it is to give Lagosian options. It's also to save travel time. Okay, when travel time is saved, you can plan your day and say, look, I will see you at 2 p.m. And at 2 p.m., you will see that person. Then also, it's also to take vehicles off the road and thereby also enable government to meet its target of net zero emission by 2050. I know our target is 10 years ahead of that of the federal government, which is put at 2060.
Right.
So then transportation is also to enable a lot of things, because with transportation, you also have what is called transit-oriented development. So when you know that you are closer to transportation, a lot of development will come around that area. And without transportation, you cannot get to those places. So when transportation is very, very robust, then you'll be able to get to a lot of places and get things done. And the economy of the state will move, in a way exponentially that everybody now begins to enjoy, the dividend of democracy, the dividend of putting on the rail line,
Right.
also, and the rest of that.
I was speaking with a professor of transportation 2 days ago, and I heard glowing accolades for LAMATA and its implementation of a transport policy in Lagos. And he was actually also mentioning most of these things that you just talked about right now. But some messages are coming in here for you. This one says, good morning, TGIF. How is the government planning to encourage more people to switch to rail transit? Isa is sending that one in. So what are you guys doing from LAMATA's perspective to ensure that more people are going to be making use of this rail transportation?
Okay, what we are doing, for instance, on the blue line, we have off-peak and peak period fares. From 11 o'clock, we'll go into the off-peak mode. And from my Marina to Mile 2, for instance, I think there's a 25% discount on the fare. And so during this period, you see a lot of people coming on board to use the train system.
Right.
Okay. So then also what we are also doing is that we are also talking to the private sector for them to bring buses, because when you use the train and you get to the terminal point, and that's not your terminal point, and you need to take a bus. So we're also encouraging a lot of private operators to bring in their buses to bring their buses to this train station so that they can pick passengers to their terminal point.
All right.
And part of also what government is also thinking is also to have multi-story car park, so that you can drop your car in those places and you use the train. So you don't need to put your car on the road. So the vision of government is to make public transportation the first choice.
Okay, which is very good. A message here says, "Good morning, Traffic Radio. What areas will the Purple Line cover and how will it connect with the existing rail lines like the Blue Line?" I think you just talked about that. You didn't put your name, by the way. This one says, "Are there any measures in place to ensure the Purple Line construction won't disrupt the daily lives of residents along that route?" You didn't put your name too. Yes.
Okay, before any construction is done, there are always statements, in terms of traffic management control, traffic management system that you are going to put in place. And of course, when we put it in place, there will be alternative, that will be broadcasted to the people. So there's certainly, if you know all the transport infrastructure projects that were constructed in the past, we are always ensuring that traffic flows by ensuring that we provide alternative, and we also have physical traffic managers that will control such roads so that there will not be any constriction or obstruction in any way.
All right.
So definitely there will be a statement, on how traffic will be managed during this period.
Okay, then. So even as we gradually wind down to the end of this conversation, Ojelabi, Mr. Governor seems to be putting his hand in a whole lot of things, transport-wise. Is it not going to be overwhelming if we are going to be having the Green Line, Purple Line, all these rail lines put together in terms of construction?
Well, Victor, you know that for how many years now we have lagged behind in infrastructure development, and Lagos is growing rapidly. Now, you can pick your choice. The population in Lagos is not less than 20 million. So people will use 22, 25, but it's not less than 20 million. And so for a city with a population of 20 million, Lagos itself is a country. But when you look at some of these islands, Lagos could be as much as 17 countries,
right,
just wrapped into one. So we just need to ensure that now that we're enjoying the confidence of creditors, we'll have to just bear it and ensure that we're able to put up this project in good time. Yorubas have a proverb, I don't know how to say it in English, but somebody who wants to have tribal mark definitely must go through some form of pains. And
right,
after the pains, somebody will say, "Oh, this your tribal mark is beautiful." So that is also the case of public transportation. That's the way we look at it. We have to bear with government so that we can put this thing in place. If, for instance, the Metro line was not cancelled by the military in 1985 or so, we will have improved on the Metro line. But now we are doing all of this. We just want to appeal to members of the public to bear with us. We will ensure that whatever we are doing will minimally impact their daily life. Minimally.
All right.
Impact their daily life.
Okay, then. So I wish you guys successful deliberation, even as the technical team will be visiting, and I'm hoping that funding will be made available for all these projects to come on stream. Ojelabi, nice having you join us on the program this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, then. So that's, we'll be trying to see how we'll expand the scope for rail mass transit in Lagos. And we're looking at it from what LAMATA is doing in ensuring that the 6 rail lines come on stream very, very soon.